All right. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I am Nabila back for the show fortnightly, a show that is run fortnightly called Metaphor Sunday. And first of all, thank you to all our viewers and my friends who wished me best and gave me such beautiful comments and feedbacks. It really means a lot. So I hope that every time that I'm going to do better and bring interesting topics to you into discourse. Aita. So today I'm here with a guest who is an educator by profession and is a student of humanities in English language and literature. So without any delay, let's invite her on the screen. We have Anusha ji here.
Hi,
Hello,
hello.
Anusha ji. How are you
Hi,
doing?
I'm feeling good. Thank you.
Nice. So first of all, thank you so much for giving us your time and agreeing to come on our live show.
Thank you very much. You're giving me the wonderful opportunity to explore myself from your platform.
Thank you so much, Anusha ji. So let's begin. मैले चाहिँ तपाईँको लागि क्वेसन एउटा सोचिराखेको छु. So I want to know more about you. So can you tell me and the viewers about your connection and your love for English language?
Well, if I have to go, I have to take you all to my childhood. I still remember my childhood when my father used to listen BBC from the stereo, and I used to get fascinated by the words, language, and English spoken. And and I used to feel spellbound. And I somehow used to catch some of the words and used to speak in a wrong way, and my father used to
Okay.
correct me. That
Wow.
was the time. And then continuously in the process, I then craved for watching English movies because
Wow.
since from childhood I wanted to learn English and wanted to be a good speaker, you see. And I watched movies with my siblings, and we sat down. We used to, though some of the words are very difficult for us to understand, we used to listen, and some of the words we used to scribble down, maybe spelling, there used to be spelling errors as well. That's how it continued. And finally, my school, the school where I studied, uh,
Where,
did my schooling. It's
where
Galaxy
did you
Public
study?
School. I
Ah,
studied in Galaxy Public School, Ganeshwar. The environment of my school was very strict. We were told to speak only in English, you see. And
wow.
sometimes, like, I still remember the time when we used to speak English, and some of the words we didn't know, and we used to mix those words in Nepali, and we were to be caught, and
Okay.
we were punished. And that time I used to find, oh my God, how rude. Now I have realized. Now I have really realized why my teachers and that environment of my school has pushed me to be so firm with language, because what I am today now is because of my schooling, the
Wow.
environment that they have provided. Yes.
I can relate with you because म पनि प्यारागनबाट पढेको अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ इट वाज अ रुल द्याट यु हेभ टु स्पिक इन इङ्ग्लिस अदर देन नेपाली क्लासेस सो द्याट इज हाउ यु विल लर्न हाउ टु स्पिक इन इङ्ग्लिस भनेर त्यो कन्सेप्ट चाहिँ त्यतिखेर बुझाएको थिएन तर अहिले तपाईँले पनि भन्नुभयो र ग्रेजुअली लाइफमा चाहिँ नाउ आइ एम अल्सो अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ द इम्पोर्टेन्स द्याट स्कुल वाज टिचिङ रिगार्डिङ अ ल्याङ्ग्वेज.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, and I'm so happy about like your. I'm happy and I'm so thoughtful about how you were thinking about words and you were fascinated by those words while you were listening to BBC and all. Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
and another thing that I would like to add is, like, when during my childhood, my father used to write those words on a piece of paper, and used to stick
Mm-hmm.
on the wall, and we were somehow told to memorize the words, like the
Okay.
spellings, and later we were told to put the words into a sentence, and that's how I craved for English, and not only that, I passed on same thing with my kids and my
Wow.
students as well.
Learning begins from home भनेको चाहिँ यहाँ एकदम म्याच भयो. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move ahead होइन अहिले चाहिँ. So according to you, what is the most important part in a literature भनौँ न लिटरेचरमा चाहिँ कुन एस्पेक्ट चाहिँ सबभन्दा इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ according to you है फेरि?
Literature, actually, first of all, I just want to go what actual literature is. Literature भनेको के हो त? Literature is a form of art or writing which has artistic and intellectual values,
Okay.
and it differs from one writer to the other. And when we talk about literature, literature has many elements.
Mm-hmm.
It has many elements like character, setting, plot, and literature has many components in the same way, like we can talk about drama, poetry, prose, fictions, non-fictions, epilogue, rhetorics. So literature is it's really a very used term. We just cannot put it into a bracket and say this is it. No, we can't say that. It's really a used term, and being a student of literature and a teacher of literature, I would say like it's a big ocean. Anyone can ponder into it and become a poet, writer, anything. So it's
Wow.
really big. But one of the most important thing in literature that matters is the language structure and
Mm-hmm.
the figurative tools that we use.
Okay. So
Okay?
figurative tools pani हाल्नु भयो हैन अनि हाम्रो शोको नाम पनि Metaphor Sunday हो. So can you
Yes.
explain me and my viewers what exactly metaphor is तपाईको अनुसार चाहिँ, or since you have learned literature so much, you can share us about its meaning and what it holds.
Okay, thank you. Before going and expressing my personal view, I would like to quote some of the one quotation expressed by one of the great philosopher, Robert Frost. Okay,
Okay.
I would like to read it loud. Okay,
Okay.
unless you are at home in the metaphor, you cannot be safe anywhere. It means if if any writer, any creative writer does not follow or use the metaphor in their writings, then no literature can be justified. It
Wow.
cannot be justified. It cannot even beautify it. So
Wow.
that's what quotation expressed by Robert Frost.
So, how do we use such metaphors in our language? Because when I write poems, maybe I write. So, अझ क्ल्यारिफाई गर्नु पर्यो भने मेटाफोर्स चाहिँ कस्तो खालको हुन सक्छ that we use in general पनि?
Sometimes, like we use metaphor in our daily life. Every day we use those people who are in the field of literature. They can use with the purpose.
Mhm.
Those people who are not related with the literature, they use metaphor unknowingly.
Okay.
Okay, like suppose, let's imagine a family. The children are fighting with each other. The parent might enter the room, okay, and he or she may claim that you are a monkey. Oh my God! She might she might say the word monkey to her own kid.
Uh,
Child might wonder, oh my God, why mommy tell me monkey? I'm not monkey. No, from no angle I look like a monkey, but why is she calling me monkey? Now, here the word monkey is some of the character, his naughtiness, his fighting habits, or maybe some kind of act shows that his character is associating with monkey. So he has been compared with a monkey as a metaphor.
okay. Ani, at the same time, if we say you are acting like a monkey, so what does that happens then?
Like direct comparison is metaphor. If we use the words like as or like, it would be simile. So there is a
Okay.
difference between simile and metaphor. Simile means we use the words like as or like. But in
Mhm.
a metaphor, it's direct comparison. You're a monkey bunny because directly we are associating you with someone.
Okay.
Though you may not, your character, your feature may contradict with the thing compared. It is a paradox. It is a paradox, but you are compared.
Okay.
Things which cannot or may not be together, but they are compared is metaphor, direct comparison.
Okay, direct comparison, even though they are contrasting in nature, if they are
Exactly.
compared that way, then it's a metaphor. And then if we use the words, the terms like we say like or as in while comparing, then it becomes similes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. अनि अझ पनि क्ल्यारिटी आयो क्या दिमागमा.
Uh-huh.
तपाईँले चाहिँ अब since you are into literature हैन, if I ask you to share a short story where we can have good learning and insights about more of these kind of metaphors अनि अझ डेप्थमा बुझ्न सक्छौं नि हामी, can you share something like that to me and to the viewers please?
Okay. When I was like thinking about metaphorical story, we like just to some of the names or some of the stories, folk tales that we've heard from childhood, like the Snow White,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Beauty and the Beast. These stories are metaphorical stories, but I would like to
Yeah.
bring a metaphorical poem written by William Shakespeare as
Oh.
All the World Stays. Okay, this
Oh.
is I have thoroughly enjoyed this poem because
Oh.
every stanza of the poem expresses expresses metaphorical object in our life. It talks about in what way the role an individual plays is has been described in a metaphorical way.
Okay.
So I would like to talk about it. Okay.
Yeah,
The
yes,
first
please go ahead.
uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you for comforting me. Okay. This is my first live Sue and I'm a bit nervous.
Oh, congratulations त्यसो भए.
All right. I would like to read first stanza
Okay,
and then
sure.
we'll continue with that.
Okay.
Our poem begins with all the men and women merely players, and they have their exit and entrance. Now, this is a wonderful poem where I think every student of literature and every teacher of literature would like to talk about because uh, it has so much of things to talk about and so much of metaphor in it. Okay, so we begin with as the poem begins with the saying the word like their exit and entrance. Now, what actually is exit and entrance? Can you just tell
Uh,
me what is in general term when if I ask you what is exit, what do you say?
मलाई त पार्किङ लटको एक्जिट याद आइरहेछ एन्ड एन्ट्री बिकज त्यही धेरै त्यो वर्ड्सहरू देखिरहेको हुन्छु मैले सो
Okay, but metaphorically, he tries to say that exit is our death and entrance is our birth. See,
ओके
so this is really like poet is trying to mix understand. I mean, he's using lots of metaphorical terms in it to make each creative thinker to think out loud. You see. Okay. So first stage, he talks about first stage of every human life. Okay. Every human life is infant. What do you do in the first stage? What is our first expression? Nabilaji, can you give me the first expression as an infant, what you must have done?
I should have cried loud.
Exactly, yes. So now here the poet,
Mhm.
Shakespeare, and he is comparing that expression of cry with the animals. Every animals in their pain, in the hunger, or any circumstances, they expresses themselves with cry. And even the infant, the first, the baby, the infant who cannot talk, cannot express, but only expresses by the cry. So here is metaphorically the poet William Shakespeare is trying to say that expression of cry is a metaphorical expression for the need, metaphorical expression for the hunger, metaphorical expression for the pain the child is going through. Okay, so even when we look around, if you have maybe you have pet animals at home. When you look, do you have pet animal?
But I have an experience of having it.
Even I don't have, but we can talk about it. Like
Yes.
suppose there's a dog at home and the dog is very hungry. Then the cry we understand, we try to understand, we associate, isn't it? But
Yes.
like unless human beings are there to talk and express, whereas other things they cannot. In the same way, the first stage is compared metaphorically as the cry of the infant and cry of animal is more or less the same
Oh.
because expression is expressed in that way. That's a
Oh.
metaphorical expression.
हाउ ब्युटिफुल्ली पुट किनभने बच्चाले चाहिँ अफकोर्स वेन जन्मिने बित्तिकै बोल्न जान्दैन एन्ड all the animals they can't speak so it's so much it it's compared so well. Wow, thank
Yes.
you. So this is the
So,
first stage
yes.
talked by written by William Shakespeare.
Yeah, he okay. And second stage, he talks about a schoolboy. Now,
Okay.
let's talk about even we can go back to our childhood, Schoolboy, how did we look like? What did we carry? Are we happy to go to school?
Not really, I guess.
Yeah, we were. No, I mean, we didn't like to go to school because we hated to go to school. We didn't want to carry the bag. And on top of that, we didn't want the nameplate. Name written by even in your either in your shirt or in your sweater, your name is there because you might be missed out, you might be lost somewhere, or sometimes you are unable to express who you are to your teacher, so name is written there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and here Shakespeare compares this second stage of human being, a schoolboy, to a snail, because the boy carries oversized bag. He's hardly seen. You see the only the small part of the head is seen. The entire body is covered with bag,
I
and
can
it's
imagine.
wonderfully expressed. All right.
Yes.
So second stage of a boy has been compared to snail, and it is a metaphorical expression. And I every time, even like you remember your time when you went to school for the first time, your shoes were shining, and the time when you returned back, everything that you were turned out to be a mess. And you are told not to do that again, but we continuously did that, isn't it? So that is second
Yes.
stage is compared with a snail and reluctancy, hesitation, shyness, and
तपाईँले
you're
यो
all slow. You're slow to reach home, slow to go to school, slow to do the homework. Yeah, that's what it is.
तपाईँले
Second
यो
stage.
सेकेन्ड स्टेज एक्सप्लेन गर्दाखेरि मलाई चाहिँ आई एम रिमेम्बरिङ वाट माई मम tells me about my elder brother, and he used to
Uh-huh,
hate going to school. So
uh-huh,
what she used to do is she used to just pack all her uniform in a bag with her school
uh-huh.
books, and then when the bus arrived, used to arrive just in front of our gate, she would throw him and the bag inside, and the seniors in the bus would like just make him ready for school. So
Yeah,
I just went back to my past, the way my mom shares the story about it. Oh my god.
yeah, it's
Nice. Beautiful.
exactly. We can. It's very metaphorically presented and it's real, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and
All right.
Third stage is very happening. Everybody went through that, and maybe you're in it right now. A lover stage. You want to be
Oh.
beautiful. You want to be beautiful. You want to be very strong. You want to prove everyone. You want everyone to look at you. You feel like you are like if somebody says something, you are with the ego and you are with the temper tantrum that you are there to react at that moment.
Mhm.
Like suppose you like someone and you sneak yourself to look at the person, trying not to like you want don't want your friends to look at you when you are looking at the person whom you
Someone
like.
else.
Yeah, and you're
Been there,
looking.
done that.
Yeah, that's true. So this is the stage of lover, and Shakespeare says that he associates the third stage of a lover as a fire. You're all the time glowing. You're all the time in lots of temper tantrum, and
Uh-huh.
you are there all the time. You can suppose it's something like you like someone and your friend sees that person whom you like, then you are there to fight. Why do you look into my boyfriend's eyes? You're there all the time. You are like a fire. You are there to fight, isn't it? So
Okay.
he is associating that temper tantrum, that ego, that kind of you are basically focusing yourself to look good. So third stage is compared metaphorically presented as a furnace or the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So we can even see these days the children are of the state of the I mean children or the students of this age are they are fighting, having problems, they are committing suicide, and you can see that like people are dating, they are dating their ex-boyfriend and someone is they don't like, and they go over there and they fight, and so such kind of things are happening in school areas or even the neighborhood. We can see that, isn't it? So that is
Yes.
actually just a wrong thing, but it's there because it's just a feeling. The
It
feeling
exists
of
in our society,
fire.
yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a feeling of fire. Okay.
Okay, so I think this when back to William Shakespeare's time, and this relations like everything continues till date. So this
Yeah.
has not expired. This poem has not expired at all.
It will never
It's
expire because it talks about the circle of life we
mhm,
every being goes through.
goes
So
through
it
that.
will never
Yes.
expire, and it's metaphorically it we can associate every stage that William Shakespeare has expressed to our life.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Please
and
let's continue then. Yes.
okay, thank you. And fourth stage that Shakespeare talks about soldier. Now, when the stage of a lover changes to a soldier being a responsible person,
Mhm.
the I mean the entire outlook, the passion, the responsibility, your approach towards life changes. You want to look mature, then you grow bear, small bear. Generally, guys they grow bear, the French bear, and they want to
Yeah.
prove that actually, I even googled out why do those men have French beard, and they copied it from the animals to look like they are more like animals. They are strong, and they want to prove that I have some responsibility. That is the growing beard also designates that represents the maturity. So shift from lover to the soldier makes a person more responsible, and and here the animal as like animal has been compared animals like goat or goat. The goat they have beard.
Yeah. Okay,
You've
yeah.
seen, yeah. So it also talks about like they are matured. Okay, they are matured and they are self-proud. They believe themselves and they are ready for any kind of responsibility. They are like, now I'm here to dominate the society. You see that kind of feeling they have.
Yeah. I
So
have my some siblings, my brothers who have like grown beard and mustaches, just to say indirectly that yes, I have grown bigger now. So now I
yeah,
can relate it more.
and it also displays that now don't treat me like a kid. I'm grown up.
Exactly. Yes. 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 I get it now. As a clear
Yeah.
boy, you think?
Thank you so much. After
Okay.
this, now the fifth stage uh, in fifth stage of every human life or human life, according to Shakespeare, is the justice. Means now a person is firm. You
Hmm.
have already taken the responsibility. You know your pros and cons, and now you are in the time when you are soldier. You're alone. You really didn't settle down, okay, or you are tending to settle down, but when you are in the fifth stage, now you are with the family, you are the main person, you are there to judge, you are the role model there. Yeah,
Okay.
Shakespeare metaphorically expresses the duties, responsibilities a person takes. We can say like our society, in a society, in some of the families, like a father may be only the bread owner, or some of
Mm-hmm.
the families where there can be a mother can be the bread owner. But now the society has improved a lot, and there is no difference. So both parents
Equal.
can be earning equally. Okay, so
Yes. Mm.
both parents are symbolized as justice. They are there to decide the right and the wrongs of the family, do's and don'ts with the children. That is what is metaphorically represented here.
Okay.
And now, as we continue, as we, shift from fifth to the sixth stage. Now, we were there. We were with lots of responsibilities. Hair turns gray. Slowly, you start having wrinkles. Okay, the feature that you used to admire yourself in the mirror, now it had changed a lot. Oh my God, I never thought that I had the wrinkle here. Things are changing. In the mirror displays that now you are realizing, oh my God, now the sense of dressing, my eating habits, my behavior, my temper tantrums, all has to be slowly narrowed down, because now I am not like as I was before. The feeling comes within,
Okay.
and Sometimes even I've seen when people are commenting, if your hair is gray, you say, "What's the Budo boy?" No, I'm not Budo. People, those generally you can even relate those people. If you see those people in the market or in a community, they say, "Don't call me Budo," because they don't want to call themselves that they are. I mean, slowly declining to their
Old. Yeah.
6 days, right? So that's what is happening, and continuing to the 6 days now. This is something very different, and where the psychology of every I mean psychology of every human during the 6 days changes. Now
Mhm.
I have to focus on my own. I cannot look after. I mean, I cannot. I can. I may not be taking the responsibility of everyone. I am going to take the responsibility of my own, because during the fourth stage and the fifth stage, both these two stages focused, metaphorical, they focused about the family and about the
So.
heroic deeds and works, right? But during the sixth stage, things change. Your appearance changes. The body, which when you, the dress that you used to put on was like tight fitting. You wanted to look very cool. Now your dresses are very loose to you. Your body is out of shape because you cannot maintain it. So
Mhm.
this 6 days of human being has been compared with animals, which is having bulge body, big
Mhm.
hair, and you are not able to take care of yourself. You are not there to like you cannot be focused on your own because things are changing. You want to because you want people to look at you. You want people's everyone's attention because you are aging. But
Mhm.
same way, the I mean those the feeling of like soldiers, feeling of lovers, all those things are slowly diminishing. They are diminishing, and they are feeling. One tends to think that now, and one of the thing during the sixth stage, one of the very important things that develops within every human is like we turn to be very stubborn. We act like children. You know, what we want them. If you don't get
Okay.
not exactly in the same way, but it is somehow it is done in the in things like if you have a grandparents at home. Do you have grandparents at home?
No, but I know the saying that मान्छे बुढो हुँदै जाँदाखेरि बच्चा जस्तो हुन थाल्छ. So I know
Uh,
this
is
saying.
very true, very, very true. One tends to be very stubborn, one tends to be very, you want everyone's to be, everyone in the family, you want the focus in the family,
Mhm.
and everyone you want, like, they want you to talk about you all the time, your things, and praise you. Okay, but
Hmm.
that's not done all the time. So this is metaphorically presented like the life, the different life circle of every human being slowly we have different steps, different stages, and we
Mhm.
move on, and things and responsibility changes. That is what happens in sixth stage, and the last stage is very, that is the most sensitive stage, the stage of that. I don't want directly say that, but we are inclining towards that.
Going towards the exit way. Exit.
Yeah. And seventh stage also talks about every event that we did from the infant till the last stage. Every event has history. So Shakespeare metaphorically presents that every event is an eventful history, metaphorically, because we are associating our life with different things. Once we are soldier like mountains. Once we were as lover like a flower. So our life compare we can compare our life with different things that's there in the nature. That is how that's how we are expressed. We saw that is nature, and that is what Shakespeare is trying to share through his poem, that this is the circle of life, and our exit and entrance is always there, and we are the actors. Whatever I'm doing in front of you right now is I'm acting, because though this is natural act, but this is acting. We Everyone is a performer, every human being. This the
Exactly.
word.
Yes.
Earth is the stage. We are
Was
the
the stage.
perform acting. Sometimes we may be our actings might lead us to be the protagonist. Sometimes we may become negative antagonist, but we are
Mhm.
the actor. And this all the world. This is the stage where we are performing like an actor and the actresses.
Thank you so much. Uh, I literally went from my past to present, and then I'm also looking towards my future as you explained this. Wow. I hope the viewers also can relate this with their lives, where they are, they can find out. And if you have any questions, please comment us so that Anusha ji can reply to your questions.
Yes, of course. I'll do that.
अनुषाजी वन्डरफुल मलाई त एकदम मन पर्यो what he has said, like entry and exit पनि मलाई एकदम लाइक हार्टमै छोयो र दिमागले ओ रियली आई बिलिभ दिस वाला भयो क्या मलाई फिलिङ भेरी
No, the
इन्ट्रेस्टिङ
words are
पारामा लेख्नु
very
भएको छ
simple.
मलाई.
You know? It's like colloquial words on the exit and entrance we use in our daily life, but when we go into the metaphorical view, then definitely it has something larger meaning than that we understand.
Right. And I think a lot of people can easily relate पनि होला के I am in this stage भनेर होइन.
Now it has definitely helped them to understand where do they stand, which stage I am. Yes.
Exactly. I think I am heading towards the maturity now.
I
I'm
thought you were
mature.
in the lover stage because you are very young and energetic, and I thought I'm appreciating you in the second stage. You see, a third
Oh,
stage.
that's
Sorry.
second person
Third.
perspective. But I am like
Yeah.
in between lover stage and the soldier stage, or from
Oh,
soldier stage to the next stage.
okay. Okay. I have a
Thank you.
question.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
since I'm associating you with second, you are in between third and the second stage.
Yeah.
Uh, did you ever feel you had such kind of emotions or feelings, whatever I express about being self-contained, being protective, of being protective to someone?
Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
can you
I
just?
would like I have a best friend. So I will not take a name because
That's unnecessary.
जसको बारेमा भन्दैछु उसले पनि थाहा पाउँछ होइन. So my best friend, we were in different classes. I know
Mhm.
she's studying something else, I'm studying something else, but we live together, so we are best friends. And then she had another friend in her classroom, and whenever she even this is a lover stage, yeah, whenever she spent more time with her classmate, and I'm like jealous, why aren't you giving me time? So this also happens with in my family as well. If my mom is you know uh, she treats everyone equal, but still if she has something special for my little brother, and I'm like, for me. So I think I can relate all those as a lover state. And yes, I have stood on the gates waiting for the crush that he would come and show his face, and all my friends waiting in a line with me to make me have a look. So it's fun. This stage was awesome actually.
How about turning back to the mirror and settling yourself, and again being fresh and going in front and moving
Oh,
around?
not like that, not like that. But when you said this, I was thinking of the movie that, like, I'm a Bollywood fan, so I used to watch a lot of Bollywoods, and then there was this कौन है जिसने मुझे मुड़ के नहीं देखा, this statement.
Okay.
So when you were saying that, I could exactly relate this statement from Karina in the
Mhm.
movie, and when she said that, who is that guy who did not look at me? So I could relate that way actually. But I've never given much time in front of mirror and doing tending, and also I can't relate with that.
Yeah, that is. So this poem that is written by William Shakespeare has larger meaning in everyone's life, and it is metaphor. It's a poem which has lots of metaphor in it, and and I mean those students who wants to do the research in metaphor, they can even use this poem in a larger term. You know.
Wow, yes, I agree with you, and now I have so much of insights. Thank you so much. Wow. Uh,
Thank you very
so
much.
again, to the viewers, if you have any questions for Anusha ji, please comment. We can she will answer it to your question or any curiosity that you have. Okay, so Anusha ji, let's move ahead. मैले चाहिँ के सोचिरहेको थिएँ कि यु क्यान अल्सो टेल अस सम स्टोरिज होइन अब यो चाहिँ वन्डरफुल पोएम द्याट वी टुक फ्रम विलियम सेक्सपियर होइन अब चाहिँ तपाईँकै स्टोरी सुनौँ न है सो आई
Wow.
हेभ ऱ्यान्डमली सेलेक्टेड 10 वर्ड्स अनि यो 10 वर्ड्स चाहिँ अहिले हाम्रो स्क्रिनमा डिस्प्ले हुन्छ सो
Mm-hmm.
यु टेक युर टाइम
Okay, you
एन्ड
want
देन
me to do the brainstorming then, I guess.
I want you to make a story, a beautiful
Uh-huh.
story, about anything. It's just random words. So here are the words for you on the screen. Please have a
Yeah, I
look.
think. Yeah.
Give
Wow.
give. So the words are normal, rich, farmer, goose, golden eggs, greedy, kills, realization, disappointment, moral. हुन त कम्पाइलिङ अल दिस अलरेडी एउटा स्टोरी तपाईँको दिमागमा आइसक्यो होला होइन सो प्लिज गो
Uh,
अहेड
I,
विथ द
I'll
स्टोरी
take some seconds to think about it. What kind of story I should be making? You see?
या
Mm.
स्योर प्लिज आई नो दिस इज काइन्ड अफ सरप्राइज फर यु पनि सो
Yeah,
प्लिज
it's
टेक
quite.
यर टाइम
I'm quite surprised with those words. Okay, so to begin with the story, I would like to start with a farmer, the life of a farmer.
ओके
May I
प्लिज
begin? Yes, thank
या
you.
प्लिज गो अहेड
There used to be a farmer in a village. The farmer worked very hard. He always dreamt of becoming rich. In the same way, he had domesticated some of the pet animals like goose, cow, pigs. Okay. And he always thought, when can I have a better life? When can I have more money? When can I change my small house into a mansion? Or when can I have something different than things that I'm having? So, and in the process, one day he happens to see one of the goose that he has at home starts laying golden eggs. Oh my God, he becomes very surprised. He firstly he thanked God. Oh God, thank you. Listen to my prayers. Okay, so he looked up and prayed to the God, and continuously the same goose laid more eggs, and he dreamt he continuously laid more eggs, and he collected those eggs, and in the same way as usual, he slept at night,
ओके
and he sees a dream. This dream is very different. He sees a dream. In the dream, he sees he happens to kill that goose and tries to take out the golden eggs that are there inside the stomach of the goose. Oh my God! He thinks, "Wow, I can be rich within no time." This greediness, he's seeing this he's seeing this scene in his dream, and he imagines, oh my God, he goes to the goldsmith, he sells those golden eggs, and having a big mansion, he has his own properties, and he becomes a landlord, and he owns so many things, and he's fantasizing in his dreams. And and after he kills that goose, the life of the goose stops.
ओके
Okay, and then unconsciously, unknowingly, tears ran down through his eyes, and he gets up from his dream. Oh my God! Thank God that's just a dream. I didn't do it. The greediness that he had in the dream didn't actually work in the real life. And he gave more attention. He looked after his animals, other animals, and the dream action that happened in the dream disappointed him during he was really very disappointed in the dream because he had killed that goose, and there's no other animals who could lay the golden eggs. Yeah. And he, as he woke up and he realizes his mistakes, his disappointment turns into the beautiful life because he gives more care to the animal, and he gives value of the things that they are giving to him in return. And he says a quotation: don't count your chicken before they are hatched. That's a moral. That's what is the story I made. Okay.
Wow. यो मैले वर्ड्स दिने बित्तिकै तपाईँले यो स्टोरिजहरू भन्न थाल्नुभयो. Do you do this a lot? How
Yeah,
come you?
yeah, it's a wonderful question. We do in the class because sometimes children are very bored, like same teaching method, and they want some kind of activities. So, and these
Okay.
days, the children are very different than us because we were when we were in the class, we had to listen to the teacher. We are forced to listen to the teacher. But these days, the teaching methodology has been changed. Okay, and
Mhm.
teacher wants to be not the teacher but the facilitator, wants to be the facilitator, wants to be the guide of the children. So what we do fun activities. What I personally do is uh, I give children small cheats, okay, and they can even write some words on it, and we collect them and we
Mhm.
paste them on the board. And
Okay.
with those words, okay, they can select, like suppose if I have 40 students in my class, there would be definitely 40 cheats, isn't it? So, seeing out of 40 cheats, they can take 15 to 20 words and they can make their own story, and they will be having flexibility. So that's how we do, and this is very interesting. And they realize, wow, ma'am, within no time we came to a story, and and this is how we do the story, and it's fun in doing also.
I'm
Yeah.
sure the kids are happy about making the story and they coming up with interesting stories. तपाईँले त टन्नै interesting storiesहरू सुन्नु भएको छ होला.
Yeah, we do a lot because some of the stories, even folk tales, we pass on to the students. And
Okay.
generally, I teach both language and literature, so more of the stories from the literature we take in, and novels we do, and some of the part of the novel we extract and bring it to the real life in the metaphorical way, in what way we can bring it on. So recently, last year, I was doing Jane Eyre, the novel,
Okay.
Janai, and that's a female character. Okay, and she was actually she comes from a very black family, and
Mhm.
she no one like she wasn't pretty. She thought she wasn't pretty. She was from a black family, and uh, she was sent to her uncle's house because her parents died at the early age, and she was very smart. And some of the situations, like her aunt, means Maizu. She didn't like her, and she was sent to an orphan center to work. Okay, and she was sent to the orphan center where her the female character was she didn't believe herself, didn't believe herself in a way, like people cast her up to be her black girl. She
Mhm.
she is parentless, okay, and she had to work somewhere. And she had to earn money, so she wasn't treated properly in the environment. But later she fights back, she gains the confidence, and she proves that what I am, whatever things I have within me, I can. She's showing to the society, not by, like, I'm not here talking about the beauty, but talking about the inner beauty that she has. And she becomes the number one person in that in the society, and
Right.
she tends to lead the society. So things are there. So many things we do novels, we do folktales. Okay, yeah,
यो त अहिले जल्दो बल्दो टपिक पनि छ. सो
yeah,
विथ दिस काइन्ड अफ स्टोरिज अफ कोर्स बच्चाहरूमा पनि सच काइन्ड अफ नलेज द्याट ह्युमन सुड बी ट्रिटेड इक्वल्ली त्यस्तो काइन्ड अफ नलेज पनि इक्वल्ली यो स्टोरिज मार्फत चाहिँ प्रदान हुन्छ होला है.
exactly. And sometimes what happens, like some of the children in the class, what happens is those children who are a kind of knuckly, fashionable children are marked by the friends in the class. Okay, and there are some of the students who are very shy, who are very timid. Okay, for them, this kind of story propels them to explore themselves and come out, and break the comfort zone and prove themselves who they are. So this is really interesting, and I'm really liking, and I'm not saying I'm a feminist, but this our society, even Nepal, our society also has. We can see that so many issues about females, isn't it? So they kind of evoke feelings, and we can rebel within ourselves rather than
Mhm.
rebelling with the family. We can rebel and prove ourselves who we are. That's what I'm trying to say.
These kind of stories will make kids relate themselves. I am this now. I have to do this. भनेर they will find a guidance. त्यसैले पनि moral of the story चाहिँ हुन्छ I guess. अनि तपाईँले
Yeah.
पनि यहाँ भर्खरै जुन यस्तो beautiful story बनाइदिनु भयो होइन, just random words I collected and you made a good story and it had a
Thank
moral
you.
that what was the moral? Can you just say it again? The exact line?
Yeah. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Okay, don't
He was
count your
thinking, he was
chickens.
imagining more gold, and he would turn out to be a millionaire. He would have so many things. So he just imagined. And after
I like
killing the goose, and he was disappointed. Oh my God, what have I
that.
done? I know things realize. He's realizing his mistakes, and he changed later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me such beautiful story and the viewers were listening to you and watching you. तपाईँले अब क्लास र स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूको कुरा गरिहाल्नु भयो होइन आई हेभ वान मोर क्वेसन फर यु कि अब बिङ अ टिचर यु हेभ लाइक म्याक्सिमम इन्टरेक्सन विथ चिल्ड्रेन स्टुडेन्ट्स होइन इन
Mhm.
जेनरली इफ यु हेभ टु टेल आवर भ्युर्स एन्ड मी वेयर दिज यङ जेनेरेसन्स आर गोइङ heading in terms of the language they use and the inclination on which part of literature, which element of literature they are inclined, and the language they are using. I did say. So, can you just give me something about that?
Thank you for the wonderful question, because this is very important question to the entire scenario, because these days children are more into social media. They are into Facebook, they are into Snapchat, Instagram, and the language they use is very shortcut. They don't want to write the formal English pattern, formal
Okay.
language structure. They are using the slangs, they are using
Okay.
acronyms to prove that they are different, but which is totally a devastation towards English language and literature, because they are breaking down, they are violating the rules and the form of language English, because they will be forgetting the sentence structure. They will be forgetting the vocabs that they have learned. Okay, because when children are not focusing into the language structure and language structure or elements of English, okay, English language and literature, then children cannot express themselves when they have to come formally, when they have to speak and write English in a formal way. This is really devastating. So I feel that children, when like they are using lots of acronyms,
Mhm.
like uh,
Like
like uh, uh,
any example?
wait, it just clicked my mind. GTPS, like they use such
GTPS,
words.
GTG, got to go.
Got to go, yeah, got to go. Some kind of acronym they're using, because they don't want to write so long. And
Okay. Yes.
when later in the class, when we ask them to write some creative things, okay, then they end up having those words, and the teacher has to ask what it is, and they will say, "Oh, ma'am, I didn't know that I wrote something wrong," and this is very silly, because it is definitely hampering their level, hampering their vocabs, and things that they have within themselves are being killed because of this wrong practice of acronyms and slangs.
Okay. So
And
English medium, we have so many English mediums, I know. Then English medium school ma चाहिँ what is the scenario of Nepali language then?
that's a very hard question you've asked, because being English
I,
teacher, I prefer my students to speak English all the time, because
yes, of course.
I know. And why English? Because since Nepali is our language and we know, and we are very comfortable. So being English teacher, I want my children to be more comfortable with English as like Nepali, because once we are out of the scenario of Nepali context, then we have to face. You have to give interview in English. You have to attend seminar in English. Every presentation that you do, you have to do it in English. So it's very important. They should follow the formal English pattern. They should
Mhm.
follow because and to encourage as I if I go back to my childhood, my father personally and even my husband now, my husband also tells my kids go through the newspaper, read novels because these are the things which add value addition to our life to enhance our English language and literature. And
Mhm.
we can practicing, though it might be difficult to be in a routine firm and follow the novel, read the newspaper regularly, okay? But though it might be difficult in the beginning, but once we make the habit, then we become habituated and we tend to understand language and we unknowingly we will be enriched with lots of vocabularies that are there in the novel or the newspaper. So
Oh, now I
it's
know.
a word. I request the students to please read books, newspapers, rather than going to those acronyms and slangs.
Now I know why my school always asked us to bring our own newspaper. So they wanted us to read more. So, which literature part, like which element of literature, भनौँ न अब literature त कति धेरै you have already described at the beginning, होइन? So where are they inclined to? Can you just generalize? Not, of course, we don't know,
No.
होइन, choices, but still.
Mhm. It's very difficult to generalize because about children are of the different age and their choices are different, you know. But for the beginners, if we talk about the beginners, like 3 to 4 class students, then
Uh-huh.
they can write short paragraph. They can express themselves, whatever things they're doing in a day, they can at least express themselves with words. Then definitely, in the beginning, they might, misuse the word. Maybe the juxtaposition of the words may be wrong. All right, but later they will firm. They will come to slowly. Right, expressing themselves in the formal writing will definitely be beautiful. So I cannot be specific like where are they going, but according to the age group, children can slowly and they can apply themselves in forming better language and literature.
Thank you so much, Anusha ji, for answering this difficult question that I asked you. Well, we have a question from a student here.
Uh-huh.
So he says, he or she, I don't know the name. Oh, Samir Shahi. Okay, Samir Shahi says, I am a student of mathematics, but I like writing poems and story a lot. Please give me some knowledge about how can I be a good writer. Okay.
Wow. Thank you for the question, Samirji. Okay. Like if he wants to write poem has poem when we talk about poem means we can add some kind of flavor like feelings. We can add metaphor here. Every writing should have metaphor. So poem also can have metaphor like Shakespeare's poem that we've done recently. And if he wants to write a poem, first of all, he can write one stanza poem. Whatever thought words that comes within him, he can just write it. And he can just write like haiku. You know the haiku lines of 14 words?
Three lines Japanese poem method, right?
Yeah, very short
Yeah.
poem. Yes, very short poem. He can try in it, and later, when as slowly a poem takes the shape, then a poem of a stanza, then slowly one can express themselves in writing the poem by the feelings. It's not necessary. We have to our beginners like us when we write a poem. Our poem doesn't need to be. There should be coherence. We should not need to focus about the. mm, uh, I mean. We should not. We don't need to focus about uh, word coherence, assonance, we don't need to focus on it, but we simply need to see how a person take what are the words the person has chosen and putting the and has to put the words in a sentence so that that paragraph or that stanza gives the meaning. That's how we can start on. And regarding the story also, story means like story is much easier than poem because one can imagine the setting where the story is taking place. Okay, and we can imagine characters, like some characters are good, some characters are bad, protagonist character, antagonist character, and generally the stories that we have learned from the beginning or heard these days. Those kind of stories where protagonist, most of the story, protagonist is all the time the winner. An antagonist realizes the mistakes and turns out to be a good person or gives up, isn't it? So we can have, regarding the story, we can talk about the plot, think what should be the story about, what should be the title, what is the, like, when I decide the character, when I decide the character and when I decide the plot, then I can make the title of the story, because plot helps me to decide the title, and then I can go on with I mean, I can elaborate my story and give a climax and ending. That's how we do it.
Nice. Thank you, Samirji, for your question. And with Samirji's question, मलाई पनि एउटा question सोध्न मन छ तपाईलाई. So even
Please.
I write poems, हैन? अनि I when I asked my friend to look how have I written my poems, and she said that your poems are not like poems; they are like monologues. So I was thinking that okay, but poems, monologues, they are quite similar, right? We can
Yeah,
write in that way.
yeah, yeah. No
So
problem, because that's what I just now shared. The for the beginners, okay, we
okay.
beginners, when we want to write the poem, we do not need to see how coherence is there in the poem. Okay, like, uh, even in the poem we can have alliteration, the words having similar letters in front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or I mean, the flow of the poem doesn't need to be like the poem of the great poet. Beginners can have a stanza trying to, but the poem should have meaning and should have fluency. It should have fluency, not necessarily that the words that we choose should be like coherent, not necessarily that.
I like poems. I want my poems to rhyme sometimes, and eventually, I think I could write raps, rap the songs.
Okay. But
Okay.
writing a poem is difficult than writing the story, because one has to choose because words are very limited, isn't it? And we have to, regarding when we write the poems, the words that we choose should have coherence with the next word and should
Mhm.
give the meaning.
तर मलाई चाहिँ स्टोरी राइटिङ भन्दा पोएम राइटिङ किन अझ पनि मनपर्छ बिकज माई पोएम्स इफ समन एल्स रिड दे डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड कुन कन्टेक्समा लेख्यो के लेख्यो इट्स अल लाइक हस हस एन्ड देन
No,
दे डोन्ट
but
गेट इट एक्ज्याक्टली
I just
बट
want to interrupt you.
या
Okay,
प्लिज
there's a philosopher called Stanley Fish. Okay, he says that he has written a theory called reader's response theory.
हजुर
Reader's response theory, and he says that every reader is the interpreter of that writing. So your interpretation matters a lot. What it is not, it does not matter what writer is trying to write. It is your perception. So reader dies after he writes the book. It is the
yes
reader who understands and expresses. That's what I
yeah
believe too. And I tell my
I
students, I tell in the class, some of the children says, ma'am, whatever answer you say you told right now, I have not written the same. So then I tell them it's okay, because your perception, my perception differs. All of your answers are correct.
okay
The perception is totally different.
wow. That way you are giving the students to write freely what they feel, right? That's very nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Anushaji, we have another question. So Kapil Sharma ji says, what if we could relate the learning linguistic with the cognitive and emotional development of the person? Should we be specific while teaching students with specific age, or being generalization works for all?
No, this kind of cognitive and emotional development of a person. Okay, when we form or when you write any piece of writing, it depends on the level of the child. We can categorize. I mean, any piece of writing which a child of class grade 1 and child of 10 writes in a different value. So the words he chooses, the expression that he tries to express is totally different. So we have to we need to be specific, because age wise it differs, and expression and understanding totally differs. Okay, I think we need to be specific with the age.
Yes, I agree with you. I hope Kapilji, you have got your answer, and there are no
Because
more questions coming up. Yes, yes.
we have emotions. emotion of a boy of reading in grade 1 and emotion of a boy reading in grade 10 or a higher class is totally varies. Depth also can vary, so we cannot be
Mhm.
same. So age matters a lot. That's what I believe.
With age, I think the culture, the background, where how we are brought up, that also matters, because
Exactly.
त्यही परिवेशले पनि अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ डिफर गर्छ नि त होइन. सो
Oh, exactly.
not only age, also how the person sees thing, how they are culturally, what are the culturally important thing in their life, त्यस्तो कुराहरूले
Yeah,
पनि I think it will matter.
yeah. Perception also matters. Experiences matters, and environment, language,
Hmm.
socio-economic status also matters a lot.
Wow. Thank you so much, Anusha ji. It was so wonderful today to hear so many things. I feel like I have gained so much of information regarding language, literature, and you have a beautiful voice, and the way you talk. I am sure that your students love you, because
Thank
you
you very
take
much.
time and explain in such a beautiful way. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me this pleasure to explore myself. And you guys are amazing. Love you very much.
It's our pleasure to have you, and you have given us, you have taken out your time, precious time for us. Thank you so much, and I hope the viewers have enjoyed the information that you have given, and they will be learning more. Thank you so much, Anusha ji. So I'll see you later soon. Bye bye.
Thank, thank you very much. Bye bye.
All right, guys. She was Anusha ji. Now it's time to say bye bye, and we'll see you after 15 days with another Metaphor Sunday show. Till then, bye bye. Take care, and you can like, subscribe, share our channel. We have Coach Me in YouTube as well. Do like our page. Thank you. Bye bye.